Hey guys, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I thought it'd be quite fun to do a new in beauty first impressions. A lot of these products I've either bought or have been gifted to me and I haven't tried them, so I thought it'd be really cool to film a video whilst I do my makeup and then we can kind of see my first impressions as it's going. Normally I would have filmed and tried something before I kind of like say whether I like it or not, but we're gonna go in and we're gonna actually like try these things firsthand. So if I like it, you'll know. If I don't like it, you'll know. There's a lot of lip here, cheek. It's really giving summer. And so, yeah, I thought I would like take you through as I'm getting my makeup done and get ready for my day. So yeah, let's get stuck in. So I did actually feature this in my last video, but I thought I'd talk about it again because I'm actually really enjoying using it. It's the Maybelline Grippy Serum. So essentially it's meant to help with the grip of your makeup to help it last longer. I quite like it. I've already prepped my skin. My skin's nice and moisturized. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this and I would say that you only need a small amount, not too much. I'm just gonna smooth it onto my skin. I love the consistency of it because it's quite lightweight, but it's really good just to kind of like give your skin that bit of tackiness. If you love, for example, like the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, that kind of vibe, you're really going to enjoy this. And I love the price point of it as well. If you like the Milk Hydro Grip Primer or the e.l.f. Primer that has that grippy technology, you're really going to enjoy this because I really do feel like the longevity of my makeup really is improved when I'm using this product. And I love that it's like a serum, so it's not too heavy, it's quite lightweight, and you just use it after your skincare, just before you apply your foundation or your complexion products. So this is a really beautiful product. Let me know if you've tried any of these. I'd love to know what are your thoughts, but I thought this would be really good inspo if you're maybe trying to revamp your makeup for the summer. I know it doesn't feel like it today, but we have had a little bit of sun recently, and I feel like a lot of the makeup and new launches that we're getting at the moment, it's really giving me that summer vibe. So a lot of these products might be something that you want to include in your coming makeup shopping. Okay, so I'll pop that onto my skin. Next, we're gonna go in with some new complexion. I don't know if you've seen these, but these are the new L'Oreal Skin Ink. Now, these are great because they're meant to be like a 2-in-1 product. It's meant to be your foundation and concealer. So if you're somebody that wants something that's a little bit more lightweight, maybe you're wanting a product that you can use day to day that allows you to kind of skip the step of having to do concealer and foundation, this might be it for you. One word of caution with this product though, it's from L'Oreal. You would need to prep your skin beforehand because it does have more of a matte finish, but I've really been enjoying using it. I've got two shades here. I've got Warm 375, which would be like my all over shade. And then I've got this other shade, which is Warm 300, which you can utilize maybe under the eye if you want more of a brightening effect. I quite like it. I like the concept of it. I think it's quite cool. So I'm going to show you how to apply it onto the skin. I've got nothing on other than the Maybelline Grippy Serum. So we're going to pop a little bit of that onto the skin. Now, the way that they recommend to take it is it's got this really cool doe foot applicator. And you're just going to take that and just kind of draw it onto the areas that you just want to kind of add a little bit of coverage. And I really love that it has this doe foot applicator because you can really sort of pinpoint the application of where you want to apply the product. So I'm going to take a small amount. I'm just going to use my favorite brush from Joy Danuga. I'm just going to kind of press it into the skin. It is a lightweight coverage, I would say. It's not going to be like your full coverage, but for day to day, maybe if you're going to work or you're running errands, you just want something that you can chuck on that's super easy. Maybe you've been to the gym in the morning, you just want something to kind of like just pop on and just forget about your day. It's great. If you are combination to oily, it's a great formulation because it gives you that soft matte finish and it just blends into the skin beautifully. So I'm just kind of pressing that in. And what I would say is that if you are looking for more of a radiant finish with this, or if you're on the drier side, definitely prep your skin accordingly. So use a really good hydrated moisturizer. Just make sure that your skin is really nice and smooth because something like this, which has more of a soft matte finish, all it will do is sort of increase the look of any texture if you have any texture on the skin. So I'm just going to smooth it on. And you can just see how it's just blended really beautifully in my skin. It's giving pretty decent coverage as well. And this is the shade 375. I think they have quite a few shades in this range. I would say that they have like a little bit of like gaps in between where I feel like they have a few shades that are missing maybe in between shades. But overall, it's pretty decent. So I'm just gonna smooth that over the skin. And then I also picked up the shade 300 Warm, which is a slightly brighter shade because I thought it'd be really good to use, like for example, under my eye. Again, I would definitely recommend that you prep the skin accordingly, especially around the eye area when you could be prone to a bit of dryness. It can look a bit crepey. So I popped on a bit of eye cream. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that and then just dot a couple of dots on the center of my face just to add that little bit of brightness, which I think is so important when you're doing your makeup. You just want it to look really nice and bright. And you'll notice that I pretty much always buy, especially with my complexion products, at least 2 shades. That way I can mix, especially now in the summer when you're in between shades. So I've gotten this one, which is a little bit brighter, that I can use on the center of my face, because then that adds a bit of dimension. I think that's so important. You don't want to just have one shade and it looks really flat. So I'm just going to take that and just kind of pat that in. But I'm really enjoying using this product. I know Melissa's Wardrobe has spoken about this as well, which is so cool. You guys know we all love a Mel approved product, and we just kind of tap that in. And that just gives a little bit of brightness under the eye. And you can kind of use it maybe, for example, down the center of the face, like for example, the chin and here. Because to be fair, all you really want is like a light application. There's a pretty decent coverage here. It's kind of sheer, but it is buildable. So I'm just gonna tap that in. And again, you notice that I always do my favorite technique, which is stippling, where I'm just pressing that into the skin, as opposed to kind of buffing away. Because what you don't want to do is create any texture. Just want to tap very gently. And I'm focusing mainly on the center of my face to apply this. But I love it. I love that it gives pretty decent coverage. I'd say it's like a light coverage, but you can build it up to medium if you prefer. So yeah, patting that in. Let me know what you guys think so far. Have you tried the new Skin Ink from L'Oreal? What are your thoughts? But so far, I think it's a great product for you to use like every day when you want something quick and easy to use. Okay, next product in complexion that I haven't tried yet that I picked up are these lifter sticks. Now, I did pick up 2 shades, but I do feel like this one's a little bit too light for me, so I probably would use that in the center of my face. But I did pick up a darker color because I do love these sorts of formulas to use as like a contour and a bronzing product. I would say that the shade of this would be more reminiscent of a bronzer for me. So I'm actually going to take this, and these are again like those one and done products that you can use as like a concealer or as a foundation just to give you a bit of coverage. I would say it's quite sheer, but I do feel like this would be a really beautiful product to use as more of like a bronzer. So I'm going to take that on the areas where I would like to add a bit of warmth. Oh yeah, I really like that. So forehead, just under my cheekbones. And again, I just love that they're really convenient, especially now everyone's like probably, you know, booking their holidays and travel, and they want like, you know, quick and easy products that they can take with them. This is quite nice just to kind of add a bit of warmth to the face. And the shade that I'm using is 75, which wasn't their deeper shade. I think there was like one other shade, but I thought it was a really good color to use as like a bronzer to kind of cheat that sort of sun-kissed look. Because especially at this time of the year when you're in between shades, you might not want to invest in a brand new foundation. What you can do is invest in a bronzer just to add that bit of warmth to make maybe your sort of winter shade foundation a little bit more warmer. And you'll notice that I always use the back of my hand as like a palette, which is so important because what you don't want to do is go straight into your makeup directly from the product. That means you're probably going to put too much on. Okay, so that's pretty much my sort of base done. I've got 2 new powders here that I'm really excited to showcase. So Made by Mitchell's got his brand new loose powders, and then YSL have their All Hours powder. I really love their All Hours range. I love the bronzer from that range. I also love the foundation, so I was really excited to see that it had some new powders. I thought it'd be really cool to do like a side by side where we can compare and contrast which side we prefer. I picked up 2 shades from the it's called the Made by Mitchell Loose Setting Powder. I've got Never Fully Pressed and Plush It Real Good. Evelyn, who is an amazing content creator, did like a side by side, and I thought these 2 were really good shades because we're quite similar in shades. And then I picked up number 2 in the All Hours because I like a bit more of a brighter one. To make it fair, I'm gonna do the two that I feel work similar in shade. But yeah, let's do a side by side, and you can let me know which one you prefer. As always, I love to apply my loose powders with a powder puff. So what's really cool and what I really appreciated was that Made by Mitchell actually included the powder puff in the actual packaging itself, which is really, really cool. So I'm gonna do a little bit of that, and then you can just tap it into the top, and you can see it's that really lovely sort of brightening shade. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that, mainly focusing on the eye area, underneath the eye, to set everything, and the center. So we're gonna do that on this side. This is the Makeup Made by Mitchell shade. So we're just gonna tap that in to the skin. And then let me know what you guys think. But so far, quite liking how that applies. It's not too mattifying. I love that you still have a bit of that radiance coming through, but pretty decent in terms of how it sits and lays. And the reason why I love to use a powder puff is because I really feel that a powder puff lays the powder down without creating that additional texture that I think most people are really afraid of when it comes to powder. I'm just gonna tap that into the skin. But so far, I like that. I've not tried it yet, but like I said, I wanted this to be a first impressions where we can try it together. And then the other side, let's compare that to the YSL powder. So again, these are all gonna give you that sort of blurring finish. And I always tend to go for a loose powder whenever I'm kind of setting my makeup. And then I always like to use more of a, I would say like a pressed powder, like a finishing powder at the end of my makeup to give me more of that sort of brightened finish. Okay, so we're just gonna smooth that in and tap. And this is the YSL one on this side. So this is in the shade number 2. And I've gone for similar shades so that you can kind of get like a better and a fair comparison of the two. Oh, I feel like I know which one I prefer so far. Smoothing that in, and then I also do, again, a bit more under the eye. And then the forehead as well, just to kind of make sure that everything taps in. Guys, what do you think? So, 2 powders from 2 incredible brands. So on this side, I have the YSL, and on this side I have the Made by Mitchell. Which side do you prefer? Let me know in the comments below. I'm trying to think. Ooh. I mean, I feel like they're pretty similar. I do feel like I'm getting a bit more of a brightening effect with the Made by Mitchell one. But I also love how the YSL's looking. It gives a bit more of a nice sort of blurred effect. I feel like they're very similar. But again, the price points are very different. This one's a little bit more affordable. So you decide, but let me know, and I hope that you found that helpful. Next, we're gonna go in with brows. I picked up this new L'Oreal Paris Faux Brow. I believe I got it in the shade black brown or dark brown. And then I've also always loved their brow lamination. But I don't know if you guys will be able to see, and if I can get close enough, but I just really love the way that this applicator looks. So if you're somebody that really enjoys that sort of brushed up brow and want that very natural sort of like microbladed look where you can see every individual like hair stroke for your brows, this is amazing. So you can see that it's a really beautiful product. So I always tend to brush my brows up first, and that way you can see exactly where you want to fill in your brows. And then I never like my brows to look too heavy. I like it to look very natural. But what I really enjoy about this product is just how light it is. So if you're really looking to achieve that feathery brow look, this is amazing. So we're just gonna get right in there. And this is really good to kind of help you achieve that sort of light, natural brow look. It's like a brow pen, essentially. Really good, very lightweight. And then just drawing it through. And the thing is with this is that you can never really get it wrong because of how like thin the nib is. It's always aiding you to kind of create that very nice, natural sort of like brush-like stroke. It's so good. And then I love that you just got the brow lamination. So this really sort of nice gel with a very thin wand, and then you can just kind of finish off, creating that natural finish and defining your brows with that. I mean, you can definitely see the difference between the two. That just looks much more lifted, more sort of feathery and more defined. I love this combination of these two products. So now we're going to be onto the fun stuff. There's a lot of like lip products that I have here, but also some new summer collections. Notably, this is the Hot Escape collection from NARS, which I'm really excited about. Every year, I really enjoy the NARS palettes that they launch because they're just really beautiful. I love that they do different variations for different skin tones. So I have this one, which is the number 3, which is great for like your medium to really deep or deep skin tones. And what I love is that you've got a bit of everything here. So you have your blusher shades, which are these 2 blush colors here. And then you have a bronzer and a highlighter. So there's literally like everything that you could want in one product. So I'm gonna start off with the bronzer, and I'm just gonna pop that onto the areas that I like to add a bit of warmth, kind of going over where I applied that sort of Maybelline lifter stick. So just smoothing that over. And one thing I'd always recommend is taking your bronzer down onto your neck and chest area, especially if you're wearing anything a bit more revealing, where you have your neckline on show. It's so important that you're not just stopping your bronzer just under your jawline, taking it down onto the neckline as well. I love that these powders are really blendable, really great undertones as well, and just really lovely and creamy. So I'm just gonna smooth that over, and I really focus on my forehead, just under my cheekbones, under the jawline, and then taking it down onto the neck and the chest area. So that looks really, really pretty just on its own. Then they also have these really beautiful blush shades, which are really intense actually. So I'm gonna go in with a really lovely light fluffy brush, and I'm gonna layer. So they've got a powdered version, which is obviously more matte, and then they've also got like a powder but with a slight shimmer to it. And this is a really beautiful sort of peachy shade. So we're just gonna pop that onto the apples of the cheeks and kind of blend that upwards. And look how intense that is. And that's the good thing about NARS, is that you really get that intensity. I really appreciate their kind of formulations and how they're really good for all skin tones, but you get that really beautiful color payoff as well. I love this. And for me, especially with my makeup kit or for personal use, I love a multi-functional palette, because who wants to be carrying around separate bronzers, separate powders, separate this, separate that? It's just so nice that you have that one product and that has everything in there for you. I have this thing where I'm really loving to put in a bit of blush on my nose as well. So that's that. And then you've got this beautiful sort of slight shimmer, which I kind of focus on using more on the sort of top parts of my cheekbones. So the blush was on the apples of the cheeks. And actually I've had this question, like, where do you know where to apply your blusher? So I always say, if you just smile, that fleshy part of your cheek there, that's where you want to apply your powdered blush or your cream blush. And then anything that's like a highlight, you just want to use that on the sort of tops of your cheekbones just to kind of highlight your cheekbones. But that is really, really pretty. And a really good tip is that whatever you've used to apply maybe your complexion or your foundation products, if you feel like you've gone a bit too crazy with the blush, which we've all done, I'm sure, you can just take whatever's left on your foundation or complexion brush and just tap that over, just to make sure that everything blends in seamlessly. Let's apply a little bit of that highlighter shade, which is this color here, which is really pretty. And we're just gonna pop that onto the tops of the cheekbones. I mean, look at that, guys. How nice is that? So pretty. And again, I'm using back of my hand as a way to kind of make sure that I'm not putting too much product. Highlight, where do you apply your highlight? Anywhere that you really want to kind of bring that feature to the forefront. So cheekbones, you want to apply your highlight to your Cupid's bow. That makes the lips look a little bit fuller. Down the center of the nose, just to kind of define the shape of your nose as well. And yeah, that just looks really pretty, and it's just literally everything you need all in one to create this beautiful sort of bronze summery glow. I really, really love that. They also have a lip oil, but I'm not going to apply that on today. If you go on my Instagram, you can actually see me using both of these products in a full tutorial, just so you can see how they really look together. But there's this really beautiful lip oil. It's called Orgasm 777, and it's just so pretty. So it just has that lovely sort of pale reflex in this gorgeous sort of pinky, pearly, peachy shade, which is really nice. I wanted to show you guys a few other products, which I won't probably apply because I've already got my cheeks on, but Dior sent me some really beautiful pieces. I mean, look at the packaging. This blush is so pretty. So this is their Dior Backstage Rosy Glow in this beautiful berry shade. So they've obviously got a really beautiful blush here. And then they've also got these amazing new, I believe these are like cream blush sticks. And just look at that color. I love it. And these are quite sheer, so they kind of will give you that lovely sort of juicy sort of glow on the cheeks, which I thought was really pretty. But I'm really excited. I might do like a separate tutorial just on these products, maybe doing a layering, because one of the things that I do like to do is going with the cream first and then layer on with my powder blushes afterwards. But I thought these were really cool. And then they also sent me these as well, which I thought were really, really cute. It's their Lip Butter Glow, which I thought were really nice. And they have like these really cute like keychains on the end. So this one is in the shade Glaze Pink, which I thought was so pretty. So if you're looking for something that has a little bit of that iridescence and a bit of that glow, that's so lovely. And then they have this purple one, which I thought would be really lovely. Even if, for example, you had that layered over another lipstick or another lip product. How pretty is that? So nice. Again, great for your handbag, but I really, really love that. And I thought they were really, really cute. So thank you to Dior for sending me that. I feel like this is the year of lip products and lip balms. There's been so many that I have here in front of me. I was really excited about this. Summer Fridays Lip Butter is one of my favorites. So they've got this one in, I think it's called, what shade is this? Pink Guava, which I think is so pretty. Let's pop a little bit of this on because I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to try this. So again, super moisturizing. Oh wow, guys, look at that. How nice, it tastes so good as well. I have a little bit of a lip liner on, but just this with a bit of lip liner is so lovely. And again, you don't get a lot of color with it, but just a little bit of something. I think that these are really good at enhancing your natural lip color. I thought that was so pretty, it's so nice. So that is the new lip butter in the new shade from Summer Fridays, which I really, really love. e.l.f. also have some new lip products. So these are the Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balms. So I've got two shades that I picked up. This one is called Java Chip, which is a really lovely sort of brown shade, which I thought would be really cool, especially for deeper skin tones. Like if you're very deep skin and you want like a nice lip balm with a bit of color payoff, that's the shade there, which I thought was really, really nice. And then I also picked up, I think this one's called, yeah, Strawberry Shortcake, which is a really lovely sort of pinky, peachy shade, which is just there, which I thought was really nice. In fact, what I might do is wipe off the Summer Fridays one and then we can try that one on together. Like in comparison to the Summer Fridays, this one has a little bit more sort of coverage and color. So this is the summer, this is the Strawberry Shortcake. Well, that's nice. Yeah, really pretty. And these are great because they have a little bit more of coverage, but they're also really pretty on as well. You know me, I love a lip product, guys. I love anything that's gonna make my lips look really juicy and pretty. And then I recently did a trip to the new Sephora in Liverpool, which was such a vibe. Honestly, Liverpool, Manchester, all those cities there, they know how to do makeup and they love beauty. But I was there on behalf of Glow Recipe because they have these new glass balms. So these are their lip balms that are inspired by a really amazing dessert called bingsu that I believe is made or is really popular in Korea. And it's basically like shaved ice and then they kind of like flavor it with like syrups. Normally it's like strawberry flavored, but these lip balms are inspired by that and I thought that they were really, really beautiful. There's a few shades here that I really love and I want to pop on one of the shades that was my favorite. But imagine like ice, that sort of like icy, glassy sort of lip look. That's really pretty. Imagine that, but on your lips. I love these. There's quite a few shades that I really, really love. This one is the watermelon one, which again has that beautiful pinky iridescence. I'm gonna go with my favorite lip liner of the moment. This is the Rhode Lip Stretch Liner in the, yeah, this is Stretch in the Rhode Lip Liner. I'm gonna pop that on. It's like the perfect lip shade for me because I have that natural sort of brown border and I feel like that is like the perfect match for my lip border. And I literally just take a bit of a brown lip liner with my favorite lip balm and that's me like pretty much good to go. And I just thought that this is so pretty. Oh, I love these. And they're not too sticky, they're not too tacky, but they just give you that like really beautiful glossy finish to your lips. without being sticky. So if you love the look of a lip gloss, but you don't want to commit to the stickiness and you want that very nourishing benefits, and that's a beautiful thing I love about Glow Recipes, that they're always thinking about the health of your lips and your skin. That is so pretty. I mean, come on, look at that. And actually I might top up a bit more of my blush, because obviously I apply the NARS blush, but sometimes once you've popped on your lip product, you might feel like you need a little bit more blush to kind of add to it, just to finish everything off. That's so pretty. Okay, the final thing that I'm really, really excited about is this. This is the new Glass Skin Legendary Glow Setting Spray from the Mother McGrath. So again, I feel like there's like a massive movement away from like that matte finish. And even though we use the Skin Ink by L'Oreal, which is obviously more on the matte side, I love to kind of go in with like a nice sort of setting spray to add that sort of like freshness and that radiance back to my skin. So the thing with this is that it's meant to give you that really lovely, glowy, glossy sort of like skin look that Pat McGrath is well known for on her runway. So I'm really excited about this because the mist is amazing. And then depending on the level of glow that you want, you can kind of layer as much or as little of this spray as you want to. So I'm gonna go in with one spritz on either side first, and let it sit on the skin, and then it just gives this beautiful glow. But then you can go up to like, I think they even showed on the website like 5 times with this spray, just to give you that beautiful glow. So like that's that on its own for one spray. If you want to focus on like your cheeks having a bit more of the glow, you can kind of go in with a bit more on the cheeks, and look at that, guys. But it really dries down beautifully, so you have that beautiful radiance and that glow, but your skin just still looks amazing. It sets your makeup, keeps everything in place, but you have this really beautiful radiance there as well. So I really want to kind of show you guys just so you can see, but I'm really excited about this. So I definitely wanted to kind of wait till I saw you guys to kind of do the first impression, just so you can kind of see how it looks on the skin. But let me know what you think. Pat McGrath is obviously well known for her skin looks, how she makes the skin for the models on the runway look incredible, and this is really, really exciting. So yeah, I mean, you can see that beautiful glow there. Stunning. So I hope you guys have enjoyed my first impressions of new in beauty. I always love doing makeup videos like this because it's always fun to kind of see how I react to products. Let me know what was your favorite product, and will you be investing in any of these products for your summer makeup routines? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.